Hello again. This is Katie from Old Fashioned, and I am very excited to present to you today our footage from Sandburg Mall in Galesburg, Illinois. So the mall first opened in 1975. Bergner's and JCPenney's were the first to sign on with the mall, and then Sears joined the mall later that year. And it wasn't actually until 1981 that Kmart joined the mall. So there was originally 3 anchors to the mall, and Kmart joined in 91, making it 4 anchors in the mall. And this mall actually closed up shop for good September 28th of 2018. So by this point, it's been abandoned for about 2.5 years. This is another entrance to the Bergners. And out of curiosity, we went up to most of the mall hallways to take an inside look, some kind of a picture of the inside hallways and the disrepair that they've fallen into. So this is over near the Sears wing. Lots of trash cans all over the place. The ceiling is peeling open. And chunks are just flat out falling out. Inside here, if you notice on the left, that is the old Aladdin's Castle. You can see a little bit of the checkered tiling. This is Sandburg Mall now. This is the main entrance now. So this window here is now owned by U-Haul, but it used to be a Kmart. A big Kmart. And they closed up in 2016. So it's been about 5 or so years since that has closed up. But the U-Haul is in there now. U-Haul moved in 2018. And in fact, if anyone has a unit in that U-Haul storage facility, you can actually just look right into the mall. That window goes right into U-Haul. So you can see the cave, the dripping, the hole that is now Sandburg Mall. We have footage inside the reflection salon. Some of the walls were completely ripped out. I'm guessing from dismantling a spray tan machine. That's a Diamond Dave's there. You see with the wood paneling on the right. I just didn't have enough time to fit everything in. But if you'd like footage of the Diamond Dave's or the reflection salon or any of the other videos I unfortunately had to skip, just let me know in the comments section. I'm more than happy to put those up on YouTube for the public to consume. The beloved Sandburg Railroad train display here. In a moment, I show the description of the display, so if you'd like to pause on that screen, you'll be able to see what it's made out of, how long it took to make, and who commissioned it being made. It's actually really cool. I'm sad that this part of the mall is being lost. And then the glass bursted out here. This is Bath and Body Works. We saw a clean shot of it just a moment ago. The floor tiles are warped and they are buckling and cracking beneath our feet. Now, how creepy would it be to be in this mall and just start hearing tiles just breaking and popping off? Very creepy to hear that when you think you're the only one in the mall and something's popping and cracking like somebody's walking across some rickety steps. That's pretty creepy. And this is obviously the back stock room here. And in Steven's footage, we actually had a picture of a little mirror right beside this door that says, "Smile, it'll make your customer's day." Now we're back out to the food court here. This is one of like 3 whole food lots in this whole entire mall. I mean, it's been a number of different shops too over the years. Some of the places I chose to keep in my footage, I kept because another mall explorer went through the mall in 2017 and he's got great video footage of it. And so I tried to do kind of like a before and after contrast in my video to show how much the mall has fallen into disrepair over just 3 years. Look at these mirrors. Look at what happened to these mirrors. I'm not sure what causes this, but it's very fascinating to me. Now this is the employee hallway behind the Claire's here, and it is just absolutely filthy. My partner and I didn't go much into this area. It just looked too horrifying. All of the ceiling was all over the floor, so it was like you were walking on a fuzzy, thick carpet. We found these signs on a few of the employee exits, and I just find it funny that they think that that's the big crime, that's the big hitter, is internal theft. I used to work for Ross Dress for Less, and I would see people walk out with entire duffel bags full of stuff. I don't think it's the employees, guys. You can kind of see behind the paint there that the black and white stripes are just painted over. Remember Hallmark stores? It turned into Universal Sporting Goods. And that's the picture I got of it. I thought this had a pretty fun paint scheme on the inside, so that's why I linger on it for a second there. This is probably the most visually appealing store in the entire mall, though. This place sold cards, games, comic books, things of that nature. Heading down the JCPenney's hallway here, and then we get a quick glance at what this kiosk used to look like. I'm very thankful for all the folks who have documented Sandburg Mall over the years. You've contributed greatly to my art and to the memories of the people who used to visit this mall. Inside of this building there are buckets as well, and most of the ceiling has fallen out. This was a former Maurice's, went out of business in the 90s. Fake skylight in front. Phony baloney skylights in this mall. Do not be deceived. The one above JCPenney's and the one above the Sears court. They're false skylights. Christopher and Banks. There's snowflakes on there because they went out of business in January, so during the winter months, shortly after Christmas. See here, it says January of 2017. And then they replaced that with a poster that says, it's now closed, but to visit these other locations, which are also closed. Christopher and Banks is no longer a company. They do not have storefronts. And then it looks like they tried to tape up individual pieces of paper to keep people from taking photos of the empty storefront, which I find kind of cheap and shoddy. And these are the planners that were behind that gentleman that was just sitting there eating. And for some reason, it was somebody's little bicycle in here that still had the training wheels on it. We're not sure why that is. We're going to take a look inside of Holmes Shoes, which was always in the mall. This stayed throughout all of the decades of the mall's operation. The ceiling is all in tatters, just falling out. There's another fake skylight. I think in the long run, the mall might have saved more money if they had built actual skylights, actual windows. They wouldn't have had to have lit up all of the light bulbs. And we're gonna head down towards the Bergner's Court. And this little piece of art sitting at the customer service desk. This is another one of the food spots. One of literally only 3. There wasn't a lot of food options in this mall. And for some reason, somebody dumped off all of their old VHS tapes. It kind of creeps me out. Makes me wonder about what's on them, but doesn't make me curious enough to watch them. It's just kind of creepy. And then Hibbett Sports. They came late to the table. Hibbett Sports started coming around in about the mid-2000s. About 2007, I think, is when our mall got one. So they came into the game late. They were taking up the old abandoned spots in the malls. Giant planner just sitting there and going to waste. Go up to the fitting rooms. For some reason it says Hibbett Sports inside the fitting rooms, in case you forget what store you're trying on clothes in. And then this looks like one of the machines that, you know, like a weight rack. It just holds your weights for you, but I don't know Hibbett Sports to sell weights, so I'm wondering how or why that's sitting there. And then over here we get a good glance at all the ceiling that has fallen out. It's just spread out all over the floor. It's soft and wet and really gross to walk across. This is the Bergner's Court in 2012. And the Galesburg newspaper actually provided this shot here. There's construction going on inside the Bergner's. They're fixing to turn it into a convention center. And this is the mall office hallway, as well as the community room, restrooms, and the security office. This is a mall office here. In that back area, they had a bunch of like paints and stuff to fix the place up with. But we walked through this hallway enough times, and I'm gonna go ahead and just speed it up for you here. Those are huge, and those are full to the top with water. The only way you can empty them is just by kicking them over. There's no way you could pick it up and move it outside at this point. So this was a cool little extra area. We found out they had a little storage room up above their entire store. Yeah, I believe we are heading down the hallway towards the Sears. I think it's awesome that GNC stayed in the mall from 1975 all the way up until the day the mall closed. Cash register used to be. We found some bank deposit baggies. Some price tags. Their licensing from the state of Illinois. Now we're going to head over to the Regis Hair Salon, which is right next door. Actually, there's a former Chess King location that's smack dab in the middle of the two, but this was the next open area. And the fun thing about salons in these old malls is you can tell exactly where the washing stations where things were hooked up at. I mean, all of these glass shelves are still perfectly intact, just sitting there. Find an old McDonald's. It used to be open for business in the mall. There was an expletive spray painted on the wall here, so I covered it up with our delightful logo. How bizarre are those lampshades? This truly is a space forgotten in time. This is inside the McDonald's kitchen. All those lights have ripped completely out of the ceiling. They're just too heavy for that super soft, moist ceiling above it. think another, maybe my most favorite, former Suncoast Motion Picture Company. This was also known as Musicland, even earlier before then. So this ceiling is pretty typical of any record store. Our Sam Goody at North Park Mall also has this type of ceiling pattern. Fun fact, those albums actually came out exactly a week apart from each other in the year 2000. These are pretty iconic structures in Suncoast Motion Picture Company. Those kids are probably in their 40s now. This is the Sears wing back when the fake skylight was lit. This is us now, showcasing it, pointing out that it is not in fact a skylight. Part of the Sears sold appliances there. And there's the Aladdin's castle. Still got the same color scheme and wall patterns. It's very interesting. It was Judy's dance studio, I think, in recent time. Thank you for shopping local. This is looking in that same hallway here. Thank you so much for watching my video, you guys. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you dig it.